Hello, Khalid.
Hi, Remy. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And thank you for the award.
Oh, well, thank you for applying. It was a great proposal. We're excited to be working with you. I know the AES folks were excited.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Actually, Remy, there is Larry Flat from Matlow State Community College. Uh, he told me that he also applied to the grant. So I don't know if they have. I mean, if they were successful, Matlow
Um,
State.
I thought I emailed everybody. Everybody should have received an email. We were able to fund all of the solar proposals, but we were only able to fund one of the wind proposals because we only had so much money left.
Mhm.
So I believe the proposal from Motlow. Um,
His name is Larry. Larry
yeah, I
Flat.
I just have to look at the list of proposals that we received to be sure I know what I'm
Okay.
saying. Um, let me look it up because I don't want to say something that is untrue. I did receive one after the end date. Yes, that's the one. So we have not decided on Larry, so that's why he hasn't heard anything. He
Okay.
applied the next day and we had already closed. So his application will be considered in our next round. Um,
Mm.
and I will reach out to him and let him know that because hoping that we're going to get our new contract from NREL for another round soon so that we can open
Okay.
it up to any last spring applications. But I haven't seen the contract come through yet, so I don't know how quickly we're going to be able to move that.
Okay.
But yeah,
That's fine.
yeah,
I'll
we
let him
did
know.
receive his
So
application.
I'll let him know that. Okay. Thanks.
Hello, Yvonne.
By the way, Remy, I want to ask. So, you told me there's in September, uh, there's a poster session. Is it in like is it in your headquarters or like how can we register for it?
So
It's in
yeah,
September.
we will
Probably it hasn't
have,
opened yet, but I just want to see like I mean if there's like if there's any early registration needed or anything.
yeah, no, at this point, we don't have an open registration yet. We're going to have a lot of opportunities for posters coming up this year. So we will be at, anyway, I have a list of all of the upcoming events that I'll share, assuming we get a couple more people on the call, but maybe we won't. Hey, Yvonne. Um, but yeah, so there's going to be RE Plus again in September in Las Vegas.
Oh, RE plus. Yeah, that's the name. RE plus.
Yep,
Yeah.
but we will also be at a bunch of other conferences this year. So there is the possibility that there may be other opportunities
Okay.
as they arise. So
Okay.
yeah. Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Hi, everybody.
Not a huge crowd today. I guess I'm not really surprised. We pretty much canceled our student network call yesterday because we only had one person show up. So I think it's tough with the semester not started yet.
Mm. Really?
Yeah, we just started actually. We started this week.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but most of the colleges around us didn't start yet.
I don't think we start until like after MLK. So like the 20 something. So it's a big break around here. Susan, when do you all start up again?
This coming Monday.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go.
That
I
feels
think the
late
only
to
the,
me.
I think the only reason why we start early, we have actually our semester is 17 weeks, which is really long. It's like one of the longest semesters you can imagine. And the reason for that is because of the medical field majors. They have the clinical things like 18 weeks,
Oh, yeah.
and they don't like to come to school alone. They want the company. So the whole university comes, 17 weeks.
That's crazy. Well, I appreciate you guys being here. I don't have a lot planned for today. I do have some slides to share, and maybe some other people will show up. But it's not a big deal. Like, so we always record these, so you can share with your colleagues, and I'll send it out later. But but I do appreciate your time, and I don't want to waste your time either. So we'll get started, and I'll give you a couple of updates on our end of things. So Khalid and I were just talking. Our spring seed funding applications closed on December 9th, and we were able to fund one more wind project, which congratulations, Susan. She got our last wind seed funding award of the year. And we were also able, with some industry funding, to fund 4 solar projects, which Khalid received one of those. And so that's really exciting, but we are closed for now until we get some new industry sponsorships for 2025 and get the new NREL contract in the door for 2025. It is coming, but I just don't know how quickly it'll come. We're hoping that if we can turn that around relatively early in the new year, we could open like a late spring funding opportunity. But if it comes a little later, it'll be a summer funding opportunity. But we will get some more money coming out this year. My goal this year is larger grants, but fewer of them. So I have been told that our funding is not going to increase. But hoping I can convince them that with the same amount of funding, I can just do fewer awards for larger dollar amounts, which hopefully will help you all. And then on our side, doling it out in milestones, because we're having a problem, which I'm sure is hindsight should have been obvious to me, is that when you give money out at the beginning and then expect information back at the end, doesn't really work like that. So we're having problems getting people to report their impact and share stories. So we'll be doing more of a milestone procedure where you're going to get some amount up front to start your research. And then once you turn in your impact report, you get some more money. And then we will encourage that second allotment to then go to support travel to one of our student conferences. So we're going to try to tie it all in so that it becomes a full circle, receive funding, do your cool thing, and then report out and be able to come to a conference with us. So that's kind of the new protocol, I'm hoping. But I wanted to kind of open it up to you all for any feedback, because I haven't written my final report. I have to write it this week. And so if you had any thoughts on, how we can make it better, if you prefer more money, larger awards, or different types of awards, because this is all very research based. We haven't done any support for outreach or other things. Any feedback you have will be great ammunition for me to bring back to NREL in hopes that they can change it up.
Is it off the table to allow such funding to support Kidwind activities?
Well, I've been trying to convince them that we need to allow outreach.
Yeah.
I have not heard, but I'll put it in the report again. I've told them over the last couple of years that is what we need, is more outreach support dollars, because y'all get paid to do research and teach. You don't get paid to do outreach. So that's the hard part.
Yeah. Yeah, we're still struggling here in PA to keep doing
I
it.
know Susan, I've been bugging Anel. I am like, they don't respond anymore. They're probably mad at me. I'm trying to find somebody to help you guys out. It's like it's one of my like windmill causes. Like, just keep tilting at it. I don't know why Pennsylvania is so hard. So many other states are like, yeah, like I need to find more people doing stuff in Pennsylvania, but I am still pounding on it, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, we just came up, getting ready to designing our t-shirts. We're like, Susan's who's the sponsors to put on the t-shirts this year? I'm like, I got nothing.
I got nothing. It's
Is that a draw? Like, hey, we're gonna print t-shirts. Can we put your name on the back?
yeah. If I send you $100, Susan, I put my you can like put my name on the bag.
Well, Kidwin and Repowering Schools will be on there.
Well, yeah, so I mean that's really good feedback, Susan. I don't know if others on the call would concur with that idea that, supporting outreach and things like that would be a good addition to these grants.
Yeah, I think that will be great. By the way, just Henry, if you need pictures, I mean, I have a lot of pictures for students. I mean, if you want, like, need pictures, because I mean, I did. I think, yeah, you have the end of grant report, which I did, but I think it didn't request a lot of information, which I prepared. And like, if you need more details, like, and pictures of students,
No,
uh,
Khalid, you are one
I
of
would
the
love to
very
share
few
them.
that are really good at giving us impact reports and pictures. So you have done a great job. So thank you for that. I think most of the people on the call are the ones that are engaged, and do send back the stuff. So I'm preaching to a choir here, I'm sure. But yeah, I will definitely take anything you have, Khalid, because we like to, use the social media as much as we can to promote and amplify your research projects and the things that you guys are accomplishing. So whatever you want to share. What about the idea of larger awards? Is that like you would definitely go after them if they were, I don't know, because we don't get a huge amount of applicants, but if they were 10,000, would that make a big difference between
Big
the
difference.
6,000?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. Okay, well, I don't want to belabor it. If you guys have any other thoughts and you want to just send me a email or put in the chat some other thoughts that you have. Like I said, any ammunition that you can give me that I can put on the table in front of NREL when I write this final report will hopefully shape the next round. Like I said, I don't think I'm not getting any more money, but if I can find a more creative and more helpful way to use the budget that I have, I'm happy to do that. So.
Remy, do you have a specific format on the outcomes that you're expecting from the first round of wind
Yes, and I
repowering?
will be in touch with you. I lost my program manager, so I'm a little behind, but I will send you an email, and it's
Perfect.
just a Google form that you put some numbers in, and then we ask that you upload like like a social media post that we can share on your behalf. So it's pretty minimal, and I will send you that link. It's on my schedule to do it, but I appreciate you
Okay, no,
asking.
no problem. Yeah, because I know I had to take care of things on the financial end with our college in terms of, are you closing this up or not? And I didn't know if there was a follow-up form or something you wanted from me. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Awesome. The other thing I wanted to remind you all about, I know that you guys are not college students, but you have a lot of college students that you work with. And we are continuing this college student network. If you recall, we did a student intern network over the summer last year that was highly regarded on both ends, the student and industry sides. So we have continued it into the school year as a monthly call. So it is on the second Wednesday of each month at 2:30. And if you go to the Repowering Schools website, I didn't actually put the link in here, but I think y'all know the Repowering Schools website, hopefully, is repoweringsschools.org. And if you go to the College Student Network page, they can register. And basically, I just send them a calendar invite with a Zoom link to join. And if they don't show up every month, that's fine. They will get a recording of it afterwards. And all the recordings of the folks that we've talked with are available on our YouTube channel. So highly recommend the students participate if they can. I know we took a random shot in the dark for a time because with student schedules and 3 time zones, like Lord knows we can't find a good time. So it's scheduled at 2:30 Eastern time. And like I said, we meet with various industry folks, and sometimes it's really just about like networking. Sometimes it's a presentation about like really interesting research, or we had one on like designing solar systems. So they're really, I think they're really great. And the faculty, the industry folks really enjoy speaking to the students. So highly recommend that they join if they can. Um, and our first speaker was supposed to be yesterday, but like I said, we only had one student show up. So we're going to try again in February. February 12th is the next one. And Noelle is just a really amazing woman that I met at the Rise Leadership Conference, and she works for Aspen Power. And she's got a really great journey story, and she does some really cool work. And I think the students will really get a lot out of meeting her. So hopefully you can send some students that way. And lastly, from our side of things, just wanted to let you know that we do aspire to be at as many events as we can this year. It all really depends on funding, which we all know is up in the air on many different angles. But we will be doing our DWEA Student Symposium. It's already filled up, but we're excited to have, I think it's 7 students attending. We kept it low just because we didn't know what our budget was. But we're excited to have them in Arlington again in February. We are aiming to be at Clean Power. We are also planning to be at IPF, which is in Virginia Beach this year. Probably really available only to local Virginia students, maybe Pennsylvania. I don't know if you guys who are nearby would be. I don't have money for hotel rooms, so all I have is passes. So I'm thinking it's going to be a lot of local kids who can drive up and drive back. But Susan, if you have folks that want to come, let me know. And Khalid, I don't know if you'd want to come up from Tennessee to, right, you're in Tennessee, is that right? Yeah, yeah.
North Carolina's
Yeah, in
close
Tennessee.
too.
And yeah, Becky, if you know any college students or have any links of folks that we
Yeah.
might invite, that we're already going to be doing something with the Kidwin side with the high school and the local teachers, but this is specifically for like community college and college students. So
Yeah.
let me
Well,
know if you have thoughts, because I think it's going to be a little invite only at this point
okay.
because it's such a limited crowd that I
Yeah.
don't even know how many passes I have. So
Yeah. I'll see if I've got kids in that area. Like I was just mentioning too, if you know anybody in North Carolina, like some parts might be okay.
well, I think ECU would be drivable.
Yeah.
I figured Century because they're doing the offshore training. Like that would be a great place to reach out. I just don't have anybody at Century College that I work
Yeah.
with.
I don't either.
Tidewater,
Sorry.
Community College, Norfolk State, ODU. Like I feel like there's a plethora of folks we could pull.
Mhm.
So anyway, that's exciting. We are also planning to be at ACES 25, which is the solar conference. It's in Boulder and it's in August. So it's a very interesting timing, but they're looking to host their first ever career fair. So they're excited to work with us to bring a bunch of college students. Maybe if we have the funding around it, we will do a student symposium and full-on conference experience. And then of course we'll be at REpS, and Rise is excited to have us bring college students to the leadership forum this year. So we've got lots of interest in bringing students to all of these events. All we need is some money. So if you know anybody who has money, let me know, because we've got a lot of
Well,
people.
everybody goes, I'll give you a free pass. And you're like, great.
How about 20? Yeah. um Anyway, so that I just wanted to let you guys know that we're excited about a big event season. So with that, Brent and Becky and Mike, do you guys all have any updates you guys want to share? We can do our updates and around the rooms from you all.
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, awesome. Let me pull something up that I had up and I lost it. So, Ron Pudell and I went out and fixed the local SkyStream and with a brand new one from Wind Resources, the new manufacturer of the SkyStream. So that was really cool. And Brian from SkyStream Turbines provided their communication kit. So it's just a tablet and this thing. And it worked great. You just, put the turbine up, turned it on, fired up the Skyview software and, added the turbine. It's pretty easy to do if you know the serial number on the turbine. And then you have access to the Skyview software,
Did
which
you have pictures
shows.
you wanted to share, Brent? I can share the screen with you.
No, I don't have them pulled
Oh,
up
okay.
right now.
Sorry.
But so on the turbine side, two things, if turbines are down and out, they can be repaired, replaced, thanks to wind resources with new parts and whatnot. Um, and I would say on the communication side, I would probably recommend that we find some university folks to reach out to Ryan at Wind Resources or Skystream Turbines. Uh, get one of the communication kits. He'll probably won't charge for it all. If anything, he may charge for this little thing if needed. And give it a whirl at a school and kind of beta test, um, or help develop a little lab activity, go out, connect to the turbine, see what it's doing, see what it's done, that kind of thing. That's kind of where I landed on this, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's a great role, and that'd be a great seed funding grant, right? To give some
Hmm.
money for somebody to start doing some lab testing with that. I would
Yeah.
volunteer JMU, but we have two Skystreams that are sitting in boxes and they actually are not up. But Susan, you guys have
Hmm.
one on campus, right? Not to volunteer you for more work, but
And JMU could run over to Thomas Harrison, and if
Mhm.
there's a cool STEM teacher there, and try it out and
That's true.
kind of brainstorm lab activities and bring back any thoughts they had, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not there's enough information on that Skyview software. It's the same software as it always has been. And it's the same information that got pushed up to the website. So um, it would be just sort of, let's get to know what our turbine's doing and has been doing activity, more than comparing to the other turbines in the fleet as we've done in the past.
I think that's great. If I can get a couple of students here at JMU who are interested, Brent, I'll reach out and let you know because that could be a really good student project for one of them.
Yeah, great.
Awesome.
That that's it.
Becky, how are you doing?
I can't find my mute button. I'm good. We're doing well. Just as always, really busy. Did want to mention, I don't know that it actually is applicable to anybody on the call, but with our Win for Schools program, we've got 3 upcoming workshops in the next few months. We'll be in New Jersey, in Connecticut, and in California. So kind of focusing on offshore, and we'll bring teachers together. So if I have misrepresented where any of you are, and I think you're not near it, happy to share that information. New Jersey is in 2 days, so not taking any more teachers to that, but should be a lot of fun. And otherwise, just keeping busy. I don't know if I mentioned, I haven't been on the calls in a few months, or maybe we haven't had one in a few months, but one curriculum that's of interest that our team is finishing up is we have a careers piece, an energy careers piece for primary kids. So people who are working with little humans. We thought they should know more than just like you can be a vet and you can be a doctor and you can be a firefighter. So some of our team that teach us primary levels have written some curriculum for that. So when that comes out, I will share it as well. It should hopefully be in the next like couple of weeks. I think it's in final review. So
That's amazing, Becky, because we are planning to do our superhero summer camp again this year, which is we based it on the Everyday Superhero book that Erin Twomley came out with. And I know she's coming out with an activity book that comes with it through her Kickstarter if it got funded. But this would be another good curriculum to leverage with it, just so that we can be doing more about it's basically the idea is a career awareness camp.
exactly.
We do fun
Yeah.
STEM activities between, Kidwind and Need that kind of hit on that stuff, but it's all meant to, encourage them or make them more aware that there are jobs where you can do
Yeah, right.
every day.
Yeah, we have other activities that are already on our website that you've probably seen that are for kind of like that upper elementary and above.
Mhm.
But we didn't really have anything for the little kids. So we'll have something for that, which would be cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I just otherwise we're just cranking through. We are hosting a lot of workshops for teachers, doing a lot of student direct to student events. So just busy as always. And yeah, happy to share those things you mentioned. Thank you for sharing the updates, Remy, at the beginning of the call, because I'll share those with our network of students as well. Because I
That'd be
think
great.
we finally, for one of our programs, got a LinkedIn page. We got permission to have a group. And so now I'm like, what can I share on LinkedIn with these college kids? As opposed to me having to email them all the time and they don't check your email anyway. So
That's right. It's so old school.
it is. Yeah.
And Facebook is just for old people, so that's awesome. Thank you for those updates, Becky. As always, you're super duper busy. I don't know how you do it. Mike and Yvonne, how are you guys doing over there at Kidwind? Taking a nap, I'm sure, right?
Like Becky, it never seems to be dull and lots going on. Becky, I'd love to know about those offshore workshops to share with teachers in our network too. So I'll have to go on your website and find them or send me links to them. But we have tons of training coming up. We just posted the Recharge Academy this summer. We have an offshore 3-day in Rhode Island that's going to be posted in a week. There's tons of free virtual workshops for teachers coming up too. So if you want to get any of if you're at all doing any work with um, teachers, tell them to go there and they can kind of get access to a bunch of free training and stuff like that too. Art Challenge continues to take in things. There's the free sim challenge. Everything is free and everything is online. So, just go and waste an hour on the Kidwin site and you'll find all kinds of things that you can do. But yeah, Becky, I'd love to know more about that offshore stuff just because we're still doing, even though it feels dead in the governmental sense, it's not dead yet, I guess, but we'll keep plugging away.
I actually registered for your workshop, and I think it's gonna be in January, on Saturday, January 27th,
Oh yeah,
or
that one,
Saturday,
yeah.
January 26th, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, great. Love to have you there. Yeah, that one is
And I'm looking for the flyer for the other one. I just put the California one in
perfect.
there.
Thank you very much
Yeah.
for it. Thank you.
Yeah, and the other thing that we're definitely leveraging also for our college student network is the Spark sessions that Mike has going on through the spring. They're great topical discussions. They're meant for educators, but I think college students would get a lot out of them too. So please feel free to share those. Yeah.
Yeah, we have been Catherine's been running those. She has some great speakers, so it's been great. Yeah. Otherwise, I didn't do enough homework over break, so the fire hose this week is starting to wear me down a little bit. But it's Thursday, I guess, so we're almost there.
Are you in that mode where you said I'll circle back a bunch? I saw a lot of memes about that after the holiday.
I could use those.
Has come.
I could use those, Becky, because I'm responding to emails from like August, like, hey, thanks for that note. I'm really got back to you. Here I am. Like I'm trying to not, totally leave you in the dust, but it's kind of it's kind of first like, do you respond to the email you get in August, or you just pretend that he died? I'm not sure what the right.
Sometimes whatever opportunity has passed. It's like, oh, you wanted me to talk to you virtually in October to your class? Okay, well that's over now. New semester.
Delete one.
You didn't call me back, so you don't really need anything. Okay, sounds good. Good deal. No, good to see you guys.
Awesome. Well, I had on my agenda to talk to you guys a little bit about how we can better utilize our time together on these webinars. But before we dig into that, I'd love to give Susan and Ed and Khalid a little bit of time to also give their updates. And then if you want to stick around for this discussion, I'd love to have you. But at that point, I'll let you guys go and if you need to get out. But Susan, do you want to start with an update on your end?
Yeah, I was gonna volunteer because I got to run at 1:30 to a training of some sort. Uh, I guess we had our teacher training workshops this fall for Kidwind and our solar challenge. Made some updates to our solar challenge. If you're familiar with it, we had a light that we'd slide across an arc for across the test, and now I've got it set up with the same lights that you have in your bill of materials, Mike, for the national or worlds, and planning to turn them on in sequence, and makes it a little bit less challenging to operate it. But and then I have a teacher who's putting together a timer for that's he's going to share what he did, so I don't have to replicate that. So I can kind of hit go and it will run through the test. We have our Kidwind regionals coming up in February, 3 of them around the state. One of them right now is oversubscribed and the other 2 are undersubscribed. So, still waiting for a few more teams to sign up on the other ones. And then we're going to do our one state solar challenge March 19th, and then our state Kidman challenge March 26th. So lots of fun stuff. Haven't played with the Kidwin stuff for the last couple of weeks, so it's time to get back into it.
Definitely. Awesome. Well, thank you for those updates. Khalid, do you want to give an update from your end?
Yeah, thanks, Remy. Thanks, everyone. So we are going to start. So we started the class maintenance of mechatronic systems this semester, and this class basically we don't have a textbook, but I give them projects. And so what we're doing, we're going to do some projects with solar power, and basically what we're going to do. We did start last year with like a small prototype of basically a cooler for the car. When cars are parked under the sun, they get hot, and actually there's about 35. Unfortunately, there are 35 kids that die every year from being forgotten in the vehicle under the sun every summer. So basically, what we are doing, we are basically making some heat pump that is like a small air conditioner that is based on water, just like the one they use for servers for computers and network servers. So it's the same principle. It uses basically antifreeze or water, and it's a heat pump. It runs on about 100 watts. And basically, what it does, you can, the solar panels these days, they are basically very flexible, and and you can, and the efficiency is increased. So you can basically have, your visor, your windscreen visor. You just fill it with solar panels, with solar panel cells, and like about 100 watts or more even, and then you can use that to power the small heat pump. So we did have last year we did try to start with it, and we had like some prototype. And this year, the project I'm giving the students is to improve it, and also we're gonna try another way with using only fans. Basically, like make some a slot on the window where you can just have fans, pump air, and you can just basically all you have to do, when you park your car, just put the visor, and when you come back, you find your car getting cooled. Of course, it's not going to be a large power, but it can pull it down, and like to the extent basically that about, let's say, like if it's like to a spot, it can cool up to like 10% of a cooler of the fan, the AC fan, the car's AC, which is a good thing. So let's see how the project goes, and then I guess in the next meeting or a few months down, I can give you more updates about it.
That's awesome, Khalid. That sounds like such a neat project for the students. Very cool.
Thanks. Yeah, yeah. I think they will learn. They will love it.
That's the whole goal, right? And then I'll buy one for my car because that sounds like a really good idea. Ed, how are you doing?
Hey, doing great. Staying busy, getting ready for the spring semester. We have a professional development workshop for our regional agriculture teachers here on Saturday. We expect about 10. And then we have another one open up for all the ag teachers in the state on the 25th of January. That'll be a part of the Peoria mini camp. It's their state leadership meeting. So and they have a board meeting that day. So we have a captured audience. So we're hoping to get about 20 high school ag teachers there, as well as some 4-H folks. The day before that, 24th, I'll be out at Yuma doing a regional CDE testing, wind turbine testing. And then on the 4th, we'll go to do the Central Arizona wind turbine testing. On the 5th, we have two events set up on the same day and at 4 hours apart. So we'll take one system up to Safford on the east part of the state on the 4th after we do that event. And then we'll go to Buckeye in the west part of the valley to do another event that day to collect data from the schools. So I'm hoping to have some teachers trained on the 25th that can run the system for me on the 5th. So yeah, we're staying busy, but we're excited. The teachers are excited about it. And we're just going to keep pushing forward. So thanks to Mike and Vaughn for all their help, support, getting materials to us, and Granger for their timely delivery of PVC materials.
Gotta love them. Awesome. Yeah, and don't forget that the American Clean Power Conference this year is in Phoenix. So hopefully we can get some pre-service teachers and others out to the event to.
Yeah, just give me some dates on it, and I'll be sure to send it up on the listserv for the teachers to get them there.
Yeah, it's I don't know, Mike probably knows better than me because it's worlds at the same time. So
well, yeah, okay, no problem. We'll
it's
have them
May.
there.
It's like May something, May 12th or something like that.
Great,
I just
thank you.
Googled it, May 19th through the 22nd.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the world event, right? Okay, we have that.
And that's at Clean Power, and it's in Phoenix, so it's going to be great.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, that sounds fantastic. Well, you guys have a lot going on, and I do really appreciate all the work that you guys are doing. And if you are willing to stick around and give me some thoughts, like I said, this call, it used to be our WAC calls from back in the Win for Schools days. And as we transitioned to the Repowering Schools organization, we kept the calls. I do love our time together where we hang out and we hear what each other is doing, but is there a better use of our time, or at least, maybe we want to take half of the time and find something more meaningful to do together, and then still be able to have our updates and around the rooms. We had talked last year about the idea of maybe digging into some kind of challenges that we see in renewable energy education in working groups. Like we were thinking we'd have a turbine communications working group, and we had some ideas, but they never really took off, so that we could, get into breakout rooms for 20 minutes at the beginning of each call and kind of talk about, making progress on issues. We could invite industry folks to come out and talk to you guys and give market updates or updates on research trends. Like, I don't know what you guys want to hear about or learn about, or would you like to present to each other about the cool research that you're doing? Would you like to hear from other people? We also work with a lot of states that have a really robust workforce pipeline where they're engaging at the college level and the K-12 level and the apprenticeships, and they have all the things. And would it be interesting to hear from states like that so that you can, ask them questions about how they built their pipeline? I don't know. I'm trying to come up with some ideas to make our time together more worthwhile.
I wonder if maybe it's hard just for people to get there monthly, and I wonder if doing less calls, but maybe setting up back to the LinkedIn or some other platform, like a private group on a platform, whatever that is, where people can throw out a question. So you don't have to I think most people, if you have a question, you kind of want to ask it in the moment. You don't want to I'll wait to ask that on the next monthly call. Or hey, I saw this cool thing, or my kids did this cool thing at the university level. Here's an article about it. It might just encourage more continued engagement, and then do quarterly calls. Just an option. I don't know if it's the right option, but if people are having trouble getting here, it might be a good option.
Yeah, I've always kind of discussed the idea of like instead of monthly, maybe like once a semester kind of
Mhm.
instruction. I don't know if like beginning of the semester or end of the semester. Um, maybe 3 times a year, like a spring semester, a fall semester, and then maybe over the summer, if people want to gather. I I'm open to that idea. Like you said, it does seem that it's hard for a lot of people to get to these. I was also going to ask if there's a better time. We adjusted the time because of the folks in Alaska, because that's really hard. I mean, this is still like what, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning for them. I don't know.
I think any time you pick is going to be good for some people and not good for other people.
Right.
Like I I don't, as an East Coaster, I don't find this time problematic.
Yeah.
But
And I think at some level, if the consistency, if people find the calls valuable, they'll make time in their schedule in the future if they know that it's happening regularly. Now, anybody else have thoughts, Brent? I mean, you've been part of this group forever, so maybe you have some thoughts on like, should we refresh this thing or is it good the way it is?
Well, I've enjoyed my time here. I would say um, I don't love breakout groups, and especially in a small group, but if you get some folks that are interested in getting the communication kit and trying that out, then it'd be cool to put that on a meeting agenda, report back in a month on how it went or whatever. I just don't have any funded time to work on this, so that's why I'm like, just try it and see what y'all figure out.
No,
I'm not able to do much, but I'm multitasking and enjoying being here. But I like staying involved with the turbine stuff. It's no biggie.
yeah. What about Ed and Khalid? I mean, you guys are relatively new to the group. I mean, would you value the opportunity to, present more about what you do at your school and the research that you're doing to a group like this? And would you learn from other people doing the same?
Oh,
Yeah, actually,
oh, go ahead, Cleve.
frozen.
Go ahead.
a lot of things from everyone here. In fact, I downloaded the flyers that they put on the chat. Actually, I want to have a question, if you don't mind, Remy, about the student you mentioned on February 12th. There's the speaker.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, actually, I just want to see, if you don't mind, for that speaker, is there any way we can get like what's an abstract? What's the topic gonna be about? Is it on? I didn't check I was gonna check your website actually, but
Um,
uh,
her bio probably has gone out, but these are really
okay,
informal, so I don't know that there's like a topic per se. She is I think she had like a development project that she might talk about, but she was also going to talk about some programs and advice for college students, maybe some advice on, upping your resume and, so it was more, I think less about her research and more just about the students and whatever she could
I
do to
see.
help them. So if your students are familiar, if you guys are familiar with our meet and greets that we do at conferences, this is kind of like the virtual version, where they get one-on-one time with an industry member and we get to learn who they are and what they do. But then the discussion is really driven by the students on the call. So we tell those folks if they want to have maybe a 10 to 15-minute presentation prepared about something, but otherwise we can keep it as an informal discussion. So yeah, so we don't really have abstracts to go with them.
Okay, I see. I mean, the students would probably, I mean, they would be interested in like knowing about, like, for example, internships or like job opportunities,
Mhm.
companies to connect with, things like these. I guess mostly,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
Sorry,
yeah,
go
but I mean,
ahead.
overall, thanks for the information. I mean, every time I know it's not many times that I jump on the monthly calls, but every time I come, I learn a lot of things.
Oh, I appreciate that. Ed, you were going to say something?
No, I appreciate the opportunity to be, involved in this group. I'm new to the wind area. I've been doing solar for a while, and I've been working with the folks from Create, which actually connected me to Michael and led me here. And then the idea of what we were trying to do with our state FFA agriculture programs with the wind turbine project. So this kind of really morphed into it for us. And working with our students at the University of Arizona on this our project with the Kidwin, really challenged the students, and we got a lot of great feedback from them. So, we would definitely want to permanently integrate these activities into our electricity curriculum. I teach an online course that's Gen Ed for the university. It's on energy sources of Arizona and the U.S. So anything I can bring in that's connected to the wind energy system is obviously very positive. Also helps me connect to the people in the state who are already engaged in it, especially from the industry side, and then some of the folks that are up in northern Arizona that may be using residential type systems. So any connections that I can make from here are extremely positive. A good teacher's a good thief. So any ideas that you have for teaching that you found to be effective tools, man, I'm going to snag them. Remy, I've already used your YouTube channel and shared that with our students and our teachers. I'll do it again on Saturday. And Yvonne's shared some great stuff that's helped to really build what we're doing. So just planning to continue and hoping to make use of it. Thank you.
Awesome. Yvonne, we haven't heard from you. You've been with us for the long haul. Do you have any thoughts on the evolution of this webinar?
A lot of it is just like the different limitations you have based on who you work with and how your funding comes. So it was always the biggest problem at K-State was there were certain things we couldn't use, and other things we had to get like special permission for. But with what Becky was talking about, I don't know if there's something similar to Discord that would be university friendly, that would let you set up all the different channels, but keep it invite only. I know Discord has some issues where people were talking about it possibly being really easy for someone to just request all of the information that was shared on it without having a true reason to. So that's made it kind of like a security risk for some businesses and things like that. Some of the nonprofits that can't necessarily share things depending on how their funding comes out.
Is Discord like Slack? I don't know what Discord
is. It kind of is. It's more robust.
Okay.
Because you can have like several different Discord channels like you can on Slack, but then you have channels within those. And you also have, besides just text type channels where you can share media and things like that, you also have voice channels. So you could just like jump into that channel, whoever's in there, and just talk like verbally at the same time. I mean, I'm a gamer. That's how I use it. So, it's kind of more on the geeky side of things, but you can have multiple channels of different discussions, like the breakouts with here, but it's just voice. But you can also like stream whatever you're doing on your screen if you were trying to share what you were doing actively to a group at the same time. Like if you were in the program and you're just sharing what's going on, they can see all your key clicks and everything. So that's where some of those issues come in. But yeah, I don't know how else to explain it. It's kind of, you can make them where you just have, here's the invite list and link, and everybody that has the link can get in, or you can have it where like a specific people have to invite you and give you your private link, and then the moderators can decide like what channels that are preset that each person has access to. If you want ones that were just for officer style chat or state style chat, I guess. But I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if there's something that exists that's more friendly to some of the limitations that government workers might have, as a lot of us that work at universities have those type of limitations.
And if we're going to do a chat, whatever platform people use is the platform to use, because like whatever it is, if we say Slack and everybody goes, well, I don't use Slack, and we have a Slack channel, and it's like, well, I would have to specially log into Slack to, or whatever. Like I'd say whatever people are on is the place to put your channel.
Yeah. And I will say like Discord is it's a app on your computer or an app on your phone. You can have it both ways, but it's not like a straight login to a website style one. I know some places have been just using like the G chat, but then you have to have a Gmail account that you want to use with that setup. And a few years ago, when it was still nationals, we tried that group meet. Is that the one we tried to use? And it worked really great at the very beginning of it, but by the end of the week, it just kind of evolved into people forgetting that there were so many people in that group.
Yeah.
So we started to get some private stuff that should not have been in there.
Okay, well, I will look into that and maybe I can send a poll out to the group and see if there's, certain platforms that they would prefer for in between calls communications. The LinkedIn group might be an easy one because I think everybody, but it's not as dynamic as like a Discord or a Slack. So anyway, we can throw that out there. I don't know of a lot of these. So if Yvonne, if you had like a list of like platforms that people might use for something like this, I can put together a quick survey and we can see. But okay, but this feedback is really helpful. I'm gonna come up for the next call. I'll plan to have a overview of what the year is going to look like based on your thoughts and things. But I think I'm going to try to incorporate as much of this feedback as I can, and we'll just keep the time as the same because, like you said, this time is historically our time, and those who want to be there will be there, and you can't be there every month, but hopefully you'll make a couple of them. So.
Remy, another aside, you're like IT person might know like just your general IT department, different aspects that might be, or at least which ones they need to stay away from, just based on security things. So
Okay.
I don't have that knowledge. So
Yeah, I mean, this whatever folks are using. I mean, like I said, we go with what's easy and what's comfortable for people because then it'll be used. So awesome. Okay, well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. If you have any other feedback about the seed funding or thoughts on, utilizing our network time most efficiently in the future, please, you can either stay on or you can drop me an email if you think of something. But I appreciate your time, and it was good to see everybody. And we'll plan to meet next month until we get the feedback of, we don't want to meet monthly. But for now, we're going to keep it monthly and we'll see where it goes.
Awesome. Excellent.
Thank you
Have
so
a
much,
nice
everyone.
day.
Thank you, Remy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for me. Bye.
Bye.
Hi,
Bye.
Remy. I'm going to stay on. I was really disappointed I wasn't able to get a proposal to you. I was hoping to do a solar proposal for that round, that December 9th. It was right during our finals week, and I had so much stuff going on. It's like, oh man, it just kicked me. I was working with an instructor who has a lot of sheep that he's lambing out, and he's in a rural area, and we were talking about coming up with a demonstration, maybe solar system that stands alone that he could use to provide heating and lighting for his small flock. And I said, Ed, we were talking about this, and I said, hey, there's a source of funding. Maybe we put together a grant, and then it just passed so quickly. But I'm hoping on the next round, if there is, because we did get, wind, but I want to come back and really work on my solar piece again and see if that might be a project we could get funded.
Yeah, fingers crossed that we will be able to get some industry funding to support the solar side, because that's where the funding comes from, the solar. Our
Right.
NREL grant is from the wind technology office. So that's why it's been wind focused.
Right.
But yes, the good thing is that, so number one, which university are you at again?
University of Arizona.
Okay, so Arizona State won one.
Oh.
And so so back in the very beginning of all this, Northern Arizona University received a small seed grant to develop a
Nice.
renewable energy development course. So basically,
Okay.
understanding project development for renewable energy systems. And the gentleman who put this course together was he's not a professor there. He's, I think, like a consultant or something, but he was working with NAU and then he was waiting for the funding to come for solar because he wanted to do the same thing at ASU. So now
Gotcha.
ASU is going to have this renewable energy development course. So anyway, I wanted to let you know that things are,
Okay.
are happening, in case you have colleagues over there that, that would be a connection for you.
That would be great. Yeah.
But the thing is that the company that gave us the funding this year for these solar projects, does work really, have a lot of projects in Arizona. So that was one of their key states.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
I think the likelihood that they will do this again in 2025 and want to focus on Arizona is good.
Okay. Yeah, that's no problem. Yeah, sometimes you look at it and say, well, yeah, your state get over, inundated with these projects. We like to spread that around. And I understand that, it's just one of those things. And like I said, we've been doing a lot of solar projects here. We had a really good institutional source with a Green Fund grant, and we had been very successful getting projects out of there. The funding was coming from student resources, and then they changed the focus and they really went towards projects that address social activism and underserved populations. Even though we work with our tribal communities, it was just really hard to create project proposals that that can fit all these little parameters that they want. And I mean, it's like we're doing stuff with drones and solar, and it's like, okay, well, who are most of the people? Well, they're mostly males. We'd like to get more females in there. Well, what about people of color and about people of other? Well, I don't have data on that, and it's like, it makes it really a challenge to put proposals together that fit their, social activist
Yeah,
percentage on there, because it's like, yeah, agriculture, and it's sometimes
it's a hard
agriculture's
one.
not looking.
Yeah, and honestly, sometimes it's just like, it's a little bit frustrating because it's like everybody needs it, and I appreciate
Yes,
that we want to make sure we reach underserved populations, but
right.
you can't make them take advantage of your programs, right? Like
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
we reach out to underserved communities all the time and are like,
Right,
"Hey, wouldn't you like to do a project like this?" But their teachers are so, bandwidth limited that they don't want to do
right.
anything new and they can't write a proposal and and so it's anyway. But yeah.
Well, we have one group on campus that does. They have a foundation and they get funded, and they basically address just the Native American community. So if somebody submits a proposal to that project and it didn't get funded, they'll move it laterally, and there's usually funding there because not a lot of people put out proposals. And I've worked with some of our students in class and, hey, let's put this together. We can go out and do teacher training, student training on the res. But sometimes just to get the data from them is really, really a challenge. And I've been doing a lot of USDA grants with our